Hello everybody and welcome back to my channel. So today I'm excited because I am going to be doing my review of the Arthurine Eyeshadow palette from Menagerie Cosmetics. I've been doing some looks with this and I did swatches, and I'm really excited to tell you what I think about it because, spoilers, I thought it was great. So before I talk to you about the palette, I'm going to be doing a quick look, and I kind of wanted to go for something different than I have been doing. So I'm going to try doing kind of like a greenish, kind of dark look. So we're going to be going with the foliage color and the honeycomb color and a little bit of hibernation, and we're going to see if we can do a simple 3-color look that's really kind of dark and glam. Okay, so I'm going to put down this base layer of hibernation just so I have kind of a base to work off with this green. Okay, now we have that base layer down, so I'm going to go in with foliage, and this swatched like a really forest green, so we're going to see how it turns out. Okay, now we're going to go back in with hibernation and do a lot of blending to sort of help this smoke out up on the eye. And once I've kind of blended that in a little bit more, I'm going to sort of blend it around the edges as well. And then I'm going to go in and put just a little bit more of foliage on, because while I do want it to blend out nicely, I also do want to have that green true color and less of a mix with hibernation. So there on the lid, I'm going to really go in. Okay, and then to really up the smoke, I'm going to go in with this little angled liner, also with the shade Foliage, right here under the eye. And then with my blending brush, I'm going to take that and really pull that into the smoke that I already have going on. Okay, now I want to add just a touch of lightness to the corners in there. So I'm going to go in with Bear Hugs, which is a really neutral shade on me, and just sort of bring that in really lightly in the corner there. And then finally, I want to go in with a shimmer. So we're going to put Honeycomb, and we're going to try and aim to get this over just the inner part of the lid, and then sort of blend it in. I feel like a more sheer shimmer would work a little better for this, but this palette does not have a lot of sheer shimmers. So I'm just trying to go in really lightly. And concentrate on staying towards the inner corner. And then I'm going to bring this in and blend it in down this way. glitter everywhere. So I'm feeling pretty glam with this look, and I want to go in with a darker blush. So I'm going to use this Arthurine blush palette just to be matchy-matchy. And I'm going to go with this shade right here, Agarita. Okay, it's not as pigmented as I thought it would be, which is nice. I feel like some of the blushes I use are so pigmented that you have to use a really, really careful hand. I've been experimenting with mostly applying my blush right here on my cheekbone because I feel like when I blend it out, it sort of disappears from that area. So I'm just trying to get it to be a little more even. Then for a highlighter, I want to stick with my green theme. So we're going to use the Noctilucent palette from Blend Bunny. This shade Transient has kind of a green to it, so we're going to try that one. I use a lot of highlight, and I know it's a lot of highlight, and I don't even care. I love it. And then just to have a little bit of a neutral lip, I'm going to use this lip oil from Juvia's Place. This is the shade Honeydew. So overall, I have to say that I really enjoyed this palette. But after doing several looks with it, my only complaint really is there's a couple of similar orange shades in here, Sugarberry, Salmon Run, Mama Bear, that all kind of look pretty similar on the eye. They're not exact dupes, but they look similar enough that if it were me, if I was making this palette, I would have chosen maybe like a highlighter shade, like something to go in the inner corners or something that's like a sheer kind of a shimmer, instead of one of these, because I feel like you could take one of them out and the other two would be different enough to justify having two, but having three is maybe a little much. But I did really like a lot of the shades. Hibernation I think is one of my favorites, even though it kind of looks like I have a bruise. I just really like it. Even if it doesn't suit my skin tone, I like it as a shade. Foliage turned out to be like a sleeper favorite. This dark green is just, I am loving it. I really, really love it. Mulberry, I was a little bit disappointed in. You can see in the flash that it's got like a brownish, bronzish to it, but it looks in the pan so much more purple than it pulls on the eye. On the eye, it was totally bronze. Which was a little disappointing just because it's a different color than I expected and I like a little bit more color. It's a nice bronze shadow, because I have quite a few bronze shadows, so I wish it pulled a little more purple. And your mileage may vary. Perhaps on you it will, but for me it just didn't. But otherwise, I really liked the shades. Bear Hugs was a really nice neutral. Honeycomb was a super fun shimmer. It's like this bright green, as you can see. It's one of my favorites. And I liked the versatility of the palette. I did a few neutral looks when I was doing looks, and this one that I did today was this like really fun dark total glam look. So I like that you could do a couple different things with the palette. I mean, it's only a 9 pan, so it's nice to be able to have variety. So those are my thoughts on the Arthurine Eyeshadow palette from Menagerie Cosmetics. If you have any questions, please do feel free to ask me down in the comments below, because I love to talk makeup, and I'm just a beginner. Like, this is probably like the 4th smoky eye that I've ever done, which I think it turned out pretty good for being my 4th smoky eye ever. So I don't always have advice, but I do really like to talk makeup. So if you have any questions about my experience, please do ask. Thank you all so much for watching. I hope you have an absolutely wonderful day.